what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Gym of All Trades Sunday Night Charts. Hope you guys are well. There's about 21 of you here already in. I think come on in and sit down, take a seat, get your popcorn ready. Get yourself ready for Sunday Night Charts. See if I can activate my video screen. I have my Redskins shirt on for the win today. We got a Redskins win, so that's awesome. I'm sorry, Washington Commanders. I'm still a Redskins fan, guys. Tried and true. So, yeah, Commanders for the win. We need the Moon Boy counts. I hear you, Keith. Yeah, I had a good Sunday. It'd be nice to see if my fantasy team could get a win now. That'd be amazing. It'd be amazing. So, we'll see what happens. Got my popcorn. It's freshly popped and ready to rock. All right, guys. Hope y'all are well. If you're brand new to the channel, my name is Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a forex trader. I trade using a theory called Elliott Wave theory. If you've never heard about it, it's a theory basically that looks at the market through a lens of fives and threes. The market moves in fives and threes. We look for those fives and threes. We put them together, see how we can find the wave structures that are repetitious in the market, and we put those fives and threes together, find the wave structures, and see if we get a sense for where price might be going, and how to trade it. So yeah, I don't have any Twizzlers right now. I have some Snapple. Got some Snapple. Maybe tonight's episode is brought to you by Snapple. See if Snapple gives me a call for an advertisement. It's pretty good. Hope you guys are well. All right, I want to keep it kind of short. I don't have much of a voice. I don't know if you can tell. I don't have much of a voice tonight, so let's just kind of keep it quick. I'm gonna I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, something like that. Just get to the bones of the market, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, I just got up from a nap, my man. Just got up from a nap. So, kind of been tired, been working hard, got lots going on. But my daughter was in a car accident this week by an uninsured motorist. So she's living by herself with a friend. Well, she's living with a friend out, and she's 18 years old, living with a friend out in Kansas City, and we only had liability on her car because it was an older 2008 Nissan Versa, and insurance is expensive as anything. So we've been kind of walking through that as a family. I was not expecting that, and found her a car, and we're gonna go pick up a little car tomorrow, and I'm gonna drive it out to her this week. So that's what I'll be spending my week doing, driving it out to her, taking care of my daughter, and coming back. So, all right, guys. Well, let's look at the market. Don't forget, this isn't financial advice. Just looking to see what the market looks like from an Elliott Wave lens, and that's all I'm here to do. So, welcome, guys. There's Jen. What's up, buddy? Oh man, you're so funny, buddy. So Kenny, how you doing? Salad Bar, good to have you. There's Pam Spencer. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you as well. There's Keith and Jay. Hey Jay, how are you doing, brother? How's the wake of your surgery? Are you doing okay? Crypto Fever had, what was it, quadruple bypass surgery, man? Scary stuff, dude. There's Eddie and Seth. What's up? David Joseph, he's been here since the beginning. Good to see you. What's up, Johnny English? How are you? All right, guys, I got the hellos out of the way, and I'm so glad you guys joined me. I appreciate it. I'm glad to have you. So, hey, sick puppy. Hasta la vista, Barbie. I wasn't ready for the Barbie. That's good. Oh, man. That's funny. Hasta la vista, Barbie. Oh, man. All right, let's see what the market's doing. All right. It might be good. Hey, insert coin. What's up? Good to see you. I didn't say hi to Chemo. What's up, Chemo? My big friend. Yeah, good. Well, it's good to have you back, Pam. Good to have you back. I'm glad you've been getting the replays as well. I don't know. Is there a Snapple fact on here somewhere? Is it on the lid? Yeah, there is. It is. What's it say? It says, let me get my light here. The bumblebee bat weighs less than a penny. The bumblebee bat weighs less than a penny. I don't know what a bumblebee bat is, but it weighs less than a penny. That's pretty funny. Okay, let's start with Ethereum, because Ethereum's got kind of a clearish look to it, and there's stuff going on. Guys, I'll tell you what, I am conflicted on this chart, and I'll show you and tell you why. But I'm primarily, I don't know. I don't know if I'm bullish or bear. I'm about as neutral as I can be. But let me show you what I'm seeing and why I'm conflicted. At least you'll at least understand. Okay. Now, what I have here is best I can tell on Ethereum is on this is the 8-hour chart. I've got a 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, 5. Okay. There's kind of the first wave. Very, very similar wave, guys. Very similar price action. Very similar wave to this wave right there. Okay? Very similar wave. Except it's a lot bigger. It's a bigger wave. Much, much bigger. All right? Now, what we didn't get is a similar wave to the downside. We got this thing that came straight down, retested the low. What this guy did is we came down in 3 waves, like a so. Okay? So we came down in 3. Okay, now, looking at that carefully, I think we came down to the 618 retrace, if I remember right. Let's check it out. Boom. We came down and played around in the golden zone here, okay? After a 3-wave move to the, retrace. All right? That's significant. That's a big deal. And now what we're getting, we got a rejection off that bottom, a clear 3-wave pullback, and now we've got some continuation rocking, okay? And we're coming to the place where it kind of resembles, on the smaller time frame, it kind of resembles a 3-wave move. Now, they always resemble a 3-wave move. At some point, an impulse wave will always at some point look like a 3-wave move, and then it'll continue going, okay? But if you'll notice here, the wave structure, right now we've got this up, down, and then a 3rd wave up, and this comes past the 1618, but it's not too extended right yet. Notice the RSI, and that's what's got me conflicted. I would ordinarily say, yeah, look for a 3-wave pullback and then some continuation, right? I'd say, look for a pullback and continuation, and that may exactly be what we're in for. Some just a pullback, and then we'll get continuation, okay? But I think we're looking for we could be looking for a bit of a pullback after another hit to the high, potentially, okay? But if you'll notice the RSI, this peak right here compared to that peak, which is equivalent to this peak compared to that peak, who knows what we call that, guys? What do we call that kind of divergence on the chart? I'll give you guys a second to answer, and we'll see how far behind the stream is. We'll let you guys in. What kind of divergence is that called there? Good day to you, Sean, and Margin Trader. What's up, man? There it is. You got it, guys. You got it. That's hidden bear. Okay. Yeah, it's about a minute or something delay. So yeah, that's a hidden bear divergence. So that's kind of letting me know that there's a good chance we're going to get a bit of a correction. And if we go to even a smaller time frame, if we go to the 4-hour time frame, you'll notice that we have divergence here, right there, which if you know what kind of divergence that is, that's regular divergence. Okay, that's reversal divergence. You'll also notice that we're retesting this trend line and threatening to break to the downside out of this trend up. Now we could turn up again and make a higher high. That could totally happen, and they could take out that divergence and get the RSI way overbought. They could do that. This isn't so overbought here that it couldn't go up. Okay? So anyway, so that divergence is there, and it's saying, hey, I'm here. Pay attention to me. The other thing I'm seeing is, again, that this is testing this line, that if we break this to the downside, it might be an indication of momentum swinging the other way. It's swinging back to the downside. If we get a bounce off of this line, that might be an indicator of maybe one more high, unless it gives us a really, really big move. And if it gives us a really, really big pump from here, which is possible, we could get a real big pump from here out of this stuff, through this and through this area. Okay, we could totally break through that area, and if we do, then the RSI could make a recovery and then get way overbought. And then what'll happen is it'll like to pull back, go up, pull back again, go up. You know, it'll start working its way up as the RSI actually works its way down. You know, and it'll make a bullish run for your money. Okay. And this is what I'm actually believe is probably coming for Ethereum. Something largish like that. Okay? But in order to create something like that, we need this week probably to get a big pump here. We need not just a little one. We need to bust through this area and this area with some relative intensity and speed, considering the 4-hour chart, in order to do that. And if we do that, we'd look for some kind of a pullback, okay, some kind of a retest, and then we'd look. I mean, you probably you want to look for some kind of a retest of that trend line from there to there, okay, and then on we go, okay, something like that, right? But we need a big move. Now, what would that be? What if something like this happens? What are we looking at for a wave structure? Is this another bull run, like somebody just asked? Is this another? Now remember, you got to keep in mind that this move right here. I mean, this takes us into the rest of the year, okay? And it might not go as fast as I've drawn it. It may take a lot more time in the market. So it may take to the end of the year to do something like that, or even longer, right? I'm just drawing a wave shape here that could play out. But basically what I've drawn here is 5 waves, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? I actually wasn't drawing just random squiggles, but I was actually drawing a wave shape there, okay? And showing you what we could, see happen in the chart, and then the RSI based on that. All right, now, what that could be, if that happens, would be a simple You'd just be looking at a simple zigzag there, more than likely. And it would be a recovery from all of this, and it'll bring us back into this zone, okay, which I think is totally possible. All right. It'll bring us back into that liquidity box right there. And I think price could play around here. Okay. And it could take a lot longer than I've drawn there. And then start working its way down again. Much slower. And we get our final. And so what that ends up turning out to be is some kind of maybe W, X, and a Y. But this, I mean, what I've drawn here is this takes us into 2025, what I drew. Now, it could happen quicker than that, and it could be less complex than that, but that's an idea on a macro chart, what could be happening on this chart. Okay. Now, really not on the best chart. This is ETH USDT. Let me get on the ETH USD chart on Coinbase. You got a little bit more history there. Okay. So if we got some kind of a large pump that gets us up here, that might be a 3-wave move. And then we could be ready for another move to the downside. And that would give W, X, and then Y. Something like that is a possibility. All right. So anyway, that's years of price action. I'm not here to predict that. I'm just showing you. Just because we get a pump here doesn't mean we're going to the moon. It simply means that we're getting a price relief, and we're getting we have time to make a little bit of money in the market. Now, how best do we make the money in the market? What's the wave shape? Nobody can predict the exact wave shape that this is going to play out. What we try to do is we use the RSI as well as wave structure on the small time frame to anticipate different moves in the market that we might get. That's the benefit of being in the Discord, because we keep up to date on all the possible moves of the market every day, twice a day at least, and you stay up to date on the wave shape, and you have an idea of what to expect. So I definitely recommend, if you're not part of the Discord, I would invite you into it, because it'll help you stay current. It'll help you navigate whatever wave structures are coming. We'll be able to navigate this together and not be surprised or taken by surprise. So I am bullish. Right? Okay, I'm bullish. However, I see the need for a correction here on the 8-hour. And on the 4-hour chart, we are threatening the downside move. So looking at this RSI, it might be more likely that the next move that we get, and that's really what we need to know. What's the next move? The next move is probably it's probably going to be up, or it's probably going to be down. This trend line is going to be key. We're sitting right on it. Are we going to break down? Okay, is this going to break down with some speed? Or are we going to break up with some speed? That'll be a good question. Excuse me. So let's look at some small time frame possibilities here, so you can begin to identify where the market might be going. So let's now go to the micro. Okay, It was meant to be a joke, GB. You know that. So let's move down in the time frame a little bit to the 30-minute. And let's look at this wave that's developed. All right. So what I notice when I look at this chart on the 30-minute chart is the strength of the hidden bull that's hidden on this chart. Do you see the hiding bull? Do you see him? Are you paying attention? On the 1 hour chart, take a peek and note this trend line right there. Right there. Just as we had this trend line right here. Now the question is, on the hourly chart, is this going to continue to trend to the downside so that price comes down and gets oversold before we get some kind of a three-wave pullback? In which case, if we got something like that, guys, I actually would be looking for my bearish count, not my bullish count. And I haven't talked about my bearish count yet. Again, this is Ethereum. This is not Bitcoin. But the same things are at stake with Bitcoin as they are with Ethereum. But if we got a big move like this that took out this level, and then I got a three-wave pullback, I would not be looking for a higher high. I would say that's too low. That's too big of a move to the downside to continue to be bullish. I would say this is probably a wave 1 to the downside followed by a wave 2, and I would be looking down for more downside after that. So I would then call this a three-wave move with divergence between wave 3 and wave 5. Okay? And that would be an A, B, and C. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? That means down could be the next direction. But we're sitting at a key minute right now. We're sitting at a key moment. Because if you'll notice, the type of wave that we have here right now is 3 waves. Very similar to this 3-wave pullback. We got another 3-wave pullback. After 3-wave moves, if that's a 3-wave move, we should expect to see it begin to come on back up to the upside, to break this trend line to the upside and to begin trending up, making a higher high. Okay? So that's the question at the moment on the 30-minute and the 1 hour chart. Are we going to get a break to the upside, breaking the price trend to the upside, breaking the RSI trend to the upside, much like we broke this trend, and like right here when we broke out of that trend? Okay? Are we going to get another one? Is this ready to go up again? The market could have reset and it's ready to rock. It's a possibility. You got to see what the market's wanting, where the market's wanting to take price. This pullback could have simply reset the RSI, and now we're ready for another move. Now, the next move could simply take out the high, and we could get a rejection, and this still could be an A, B, C, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this becomes the 5th wave of the 5th, and it maintains this divergence, that divergence line right there. We get what we call triple divergence or double divergence there, where you have 3 mountain peaks now of divergence here on the RSI on this time frame rather than just 2. And that's a possibility as well. We might simply get a pump up to here, and then it doesn't make a higher high in the RSI, and then it begins to reject. And that still could be an A, B, and a C. In which case, as long as we don't break this high, I'm looking at that as a 1, 2, 1, 2 to the downside. Or that's an ABC to the downside, and we're going to double up this correction. That means and here's the bearish count, one of the bearish counts, that this is a W, this is an X wave that could be finishing, and then we get a Y wave. Okay, now the Y should be three waves. That would be a double zigzag. Okay, we would be looking for something like this. Something like that, staying in a channel. And that will retest the low. Allows more time for accumulation. This, what I've drawn right there, takes us into 2023. And then we begin working our way. We have a bottom here, an accumulation bottom. We break out. Retest. Okay, that maybe a leading diag right there. And then sometime by summer next year we get a big wave up. I'm trying to help you understand that things don't just go straight up and down. They take time to develop. And it could take months for all of this price action to play out. Something like that, right? So I'm just showing you that is not just going to go straight up from there. It's going to begin, working its way up in wave structure that we'll have to pay attention to. So that's my bullish count for Ethereum, a double zigzag. We have to watch out for. Okay? The RSI, if you'll look on the 8-hour chart here on the USD, is so the hidden bear is strong here. Okay, so this wave might finish and then come down for a 3-wave move back down to the downside. You have to understand that is likely and possible. What's up, crypto world? Good to see you. Welcome. I didn't say hi to Chester, and then Tote Life, what's up? Good to see you as well. Hey, there's 76 of you here tonight. That's awesome. Yeah, that's why I started with the bullish count. Okay. What you have to, guys, here's the methodology for what you do, how to trade with Elliott. You have to understand what is possible, okay? Now, it's not enough to say anything is possible, because while it is true to say, yes, anything is possible, what we do in our group is we do time frame analysis, where we look at the different time frames and we say, on this time frame, what am I expecting? Am I expecting up or down? On this, and then I go to the next time frame. Am I expecting up or down? And we go all the way down to the 5-minute chart or even the 1-minute chart. And we work our way through what to expect so we can have a general idea of the very next wave that we should be looking at. And it's not just that we have a macro view of up or down, obviously, and I've given you 2 counts. And there are more counts than that, than what I've just given you. But that's what I've just drawn in the chart for you is a very plausible idea. Very possible that we could get a double correction here, allows the market makers more time to take liquidity, to make up their positions for a larger bull run sometime in the years to come. Okay? That they need more time and more money invested. And so, anyway, the RSI is telling us, hey, we've reached a place of high buy momentum on the 8-hour chart. And that's significant. That doesn't mean it can't go up anymore. Let me show you the last wave that we received. The last wave got overbought right here. And that corresponds with this move right there. We got a pullback, which corresponded to that move. And we got another high, which made this move. We got a pullback and another high. And that created a second mountain peak there, so to speak. And you can see how price can pump, even though on the 8-hour chart, we got to be overbought. Overbought on the 8-hour doesn't mean it's done going up. It simply means that we're most likely ready for a correction to this magnitude. Okay? Okay, now if that correction of that magnitude, okay, comes, all right, fine, you'll be ready for the next bullish move, or at least to be trading the bullish moves that come, all right? So what I'm saying to you is that we are on the 8-hour, we have hidden bearish divergence. That's yelling at us. That is screaming at us. We need to pay attention to it. It's letting us know that the market needs to correct. However, that doesn't mean it's going to correct and go to zero tomorrow or next week. It just means that if you're investing in Ethereum, you ought to consider that more than likely a correction is imminent on the 8-hour chart, and that you may want to wait for the next pullback to let the RSI correct back down to the 50 or 60 level, much like this one did, and then look for the reversal signs so you can trade a long if you want to take a long, if that pullback provides you an entry into a trade. But this isn't a place to be jumping into a long trade necessarily on Ethereum. Okay, that's the point. Of course it can go up or down, but I'm not leaving you with no ideas to look for. What we try to do is say, okay, on our macro ideas, if we're going to see it move up from here, what do we need to see in the price action in order to make that price go up? How does the market normally move in other ways to make the price go up? And the market moves surprisingly predictable. And if you know what to look for as the market is creating what it's creating, you can identify the signs and trade with the market. And that's what we're doing here. So what I'm telling you, I'm showing you signs in the market that say imminently we've got, more than likely, some kind of reversal coming. Now, we know that just because we have a peak and we're getting a little correction on the 30-minute chart, for instance, doesn't mean that this is just going to go straight down from here. We know the market doesn't necessarily move like that. At least I know that. Do you know that? How does the market move on the 30-minute chart, on the 15-minute chart? Well, very likely on the 15-minute, this could pump tomorrow during New York or something like that. We could get a pump that breaks the high here. We could. It comes up here and takes the high out. The market loves to take highs out. And it would pump the RSI up the same way, more than likely creating a bearish regular divergence, a regular bear divergence. Okay? So that's telling me, so I'll be watching for such a thing and looking for a rejection for a potential larger correction to the downside. That gives me, because the market is ready for a correction. Now, if it does that, and then it begins correcting to the downside and becomes oversold on the 1 minute, you might get a picture of a wave, something like that, on the 30-minute. On the 8-hour chart, all that looks like is a simple 3-wave pullback that would set us up for hidden bullish divergence and to get us ready for the next high. And that's what we would expect to see in a bullish move if the market is indeed very bullish. Does that make sense? Are you guys tracking? This is the way the market moves. This is the way the RSI plays out. This is the way the momentum indicator of the RSI plays, so that you learn to read that momentum indicator on the different time frames. All right. So that's kind of where we are. We're at this stage where, are we going to get a pump to the high before we come down? Or was the pump that we got the other day, was that the only test of the high that we get? One might argue, and this is where I don't know the answer, one might argue, hey Jim, we already got a five wave shape there. We have a very possible A, B, C. We pull the fibs on such a move like this, A, B, C. You'll notice that we've come up close to the 2618. It could be an extended ABC, but nevertheless, it could be simply an ABC correction. If that's the case, it could be done. Any kind of pullback might simply be a three-wave pullback back to the upside, followed by another impulse to the downside. Okay? Or this wave may continue to work its way down, creating a five-wave move to the downside. If I get something like that, if I get a wave like this that creates a five-wave shape of that nature, well, that's going to let me know I should be looking for a three-wave pullback and a continuation wave to the downside. That's what I'd be watching for. So I'm not simply saying up or down. I'm not just saying it could do this, it could do that, but rather I'm starting with a macro view of it could go up, it could go down, and I have wave counts that lend me to, say, hey, this is what it might look like on a macro or a micro or macro scale. But then we go down to the moderate time frames and the micro time frames, and we say, what would the wave look like as it developed if it went up and if it goes down? That's why we do multiple time frames analysis. Okay? So people that don't understand Elliott and don't understand how waves develop across the time frames, just miss this. And this is what you guys really need to be learning. There's a science here, and there's a real art here that is worth your time and energy to understand. And this is what I teach every day, all day, during my lives in the Discord. Chester is one of my newest. Chester is one of my newest members of the Discord. Chester, I wonder if you might share your experience here in the chat of the Discord. Let me know. You've been a member of my channel for quite a while and debating coming in the Discord. Would you recommend it to people that aren't in the Discord, and why would you recommend it, or is it a waste of time? Be honest. I'd love your honest answer there. All right. So anyway, with that said, it is up or down, right? But it's not that I've left you hanging like, hey, there's nothing else to see here. Sorry, guys. There's wave shape and wave expectation. So what I'm watching for next is to see if we get another move to the high. And if we get that move to the high, is it a really large one? Like one of those big ones that just keeps rocking. If you get something like that busts through levels very quickly. Okay, let me get to the 4 hour here. Okay, when I say very quickly, I mean just in a short amount of time, in a couple of days, okay? Or next week even. All right, that's going to be a sign, guys, that we're most likely going to where I was talking about. We're going up to somewhere around $3,000 for eventually for Ethereum. Somewhere between $2,600 and $3,000. Okay? So if we start pumping with speed to the upside, not just hit the high and reject, but we pump with speed, we're going to be looking for this target range right up here. And I wouldn't be expecting much more. I mean, it could go higher, but it's going to take a while to get up there. Okay? Up here. It's going to take a while. It's going to take to the end of the year probably. Probably something like this. It's not going to go straight up there. But if we do get a big stretch of price action that just kind of goes, pulls back and goes, pulls back and goes. Okay, this is where we're headed here. We're headed up here. So we're gonna watch what happens right in here. Like this week is a big week. Now, what do the elections have to do with anything? Well, I would say that the powers that be, if they are interested in trying to somehow influence the vote to maintain maybe a Democratic bias, they might pump the markets this week. So if the powers that be are saying, hey, we're looking to quell the Republican momentum that seems to be sweeping the nation across most of the primaries and most of the polls, the Republicans are winning the polls overwhelmingly across the country. And it looks like we're going to have a shift in our House and Senate potentially. However, a week before the election, if the powers that be are saying, hey, I want to quell some of that, what do you call it? Momentum, what could happen? I'm just thinking now how the election might change things is, tomorrow you might get some kind of announcement of monetary policy by Biden and his administration of some kind, something that they're doing for the American people, so to speak, some announcement that they're gonna do, some financial action that they're gonna do to help people, to alleviate and to help the markets and whatever. And all of a sudden, the markets this week begin to recover in some way. The markets begin pumping in some way, where it looks very, very positive on the charts, very green and very up. And then the narrative in the news becomes, hey, look, see, the Democrats have the plan to fix the economy, and we're already doing that. And this is working, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's a narrative that could play out, and the markets might react in such a way. I see a very strong potential for a bullish move in the charts. I also see a strong potential for a correction to the downside, and we have to be about as balanced as we can be as we look at this. I don't know what's going to happen. The narrative I just shared may not play out at all. The powers that be may not try to impact the elections in any way with any kind of market pump or dump. I don't know. I went back and looked at the market price action around the time of elections for the last 4 election cycles back to 2000. Every 2 years back to 2016, and I really didn't see any strong price movement in and around elections prior to or after. Generally speaking, where the market was trending at that time, it continued trending in that direction, generally speaking. So, I don't know how much elections really play into market and the market reacting to elections. So I don't know that information. So I'm just asking the question without a clear answer. I don't have the answer. I just like to ask questions and then see what the charts are doing. Okay. Now, so the fact that this is struggling to make its way might be an indicator. If this continues to pump to the downside and gets longer and deeper to the downside, I'm going to be I'll be honest with you, less likely for a pump to the upside. I think it's going to be less likely, but it still could play in Ethereum. I imagine you could get some kind of a longer wave here, a 3-wave pullback, something like that. But then you'd have to count it much like a 1-2-1-2, where you've got a 1 and a 2 wave, and you've got this became 1 and 2, and this goes again. Okay, so that's another way we could get a bearish move this week. Okay, and yet still be bullish overall. That would allow in the 4-hour chart the price to come down, the RSI to come down, create the hidden bullish divergence we like to see, and then we would be ready for another move to the upside. It would allow the market to cool down. Okay, now Ethereum likes to pump and it likes to correct very bullishly. So if this is a bull move, we ought to see more than likely some kind of 3-wave move that breaks the top here and then get a strong move down. So we'll get a move down here, okay? And it'll be 3 waves of some kind, right? And then we'll get a larger pump, but it'll be a 3-wave shape that breaks that high. You'll get kind of a strong dump, okay, that won't really make a lower low, and then it'll continue on. And that's the bullish construction of Ethereum and Bitcoin over and over and over. That's the way they move. It looks like you're getting a correction. It looks like it needs to go down, and it does move in 3 waves, but it moves in a bullish 3 waves where it really doesn't make lower lows, but rather higher lows in the corrective waves. So that's kind of, the way I'm seeing that. All right. I've ignored you guys for a little while. Let me know. I guess Chester left. He wasn't around, so no worries if you aren't able to share your thought. All right. What are you saying in the... Johnny English, check what? Yeah, I'll look at Bitcoin in just a minute, Seth. Supreme, that's definitely the case. But you never know if we get a surprise. When are the rates going to be announced this month? Check the news quick. Okay, we got the RBA rate statement. Let's see. The U.S. dollar. JOLTS job openings. All right, Wednesday, guys. This Wednesday, we got the FOMC statement. And we got a press conference Wednesday. Wednesday's the day, guys. Oh, okay. You agree. Gotcha, buddy. Thank you. I just want to make sure I didn't miss something. All right, Wednesday's the day, guys. All right, so I'm kind of biased, in my opinion, to some kind of a bullish move here. Whether it's a bullish move that takes the high out, or we begin to make a 3-wave pump and then we dump. That's something that could probably play out this week. You get a 3-wave and then a dump. It could be smaller than I've drawn it. Dump and then pump after that. So we could dump on the FOMC. I don't know. We'll have to see what the market wants to do. Okay, so let's finish Ethereum with small time frame analysis. Let's look at this wave. Let's look at this wave, see if we can figure it out. Okay. Looks like we had some kind of a ending diag right here. We had a 3-wave move down, and then we had an ending diag. So I think something ended here. A wave ended right there. That's what I believe. I believe this was an impulse, okay, with a running flat wave 4. So that's wave 4, and there was wave 5. We had a 3-wave pullback, okay. And now this was probably this was probably a 5-wave move where you had, this was wave 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe an ending diag. That could be a finished A, B, C. In which case we would expect a move to the upside tonight. Now it doesn't mean it'll go straight up, but we could get a move up, a pullback, and then a continuation later tomorrow morning. So an up and a pullback is probably what we have in store tonight with a move up tomorrow. We could go up and break the high, any number of things. My best guess here is that this could be an A, B, and C. And it looks like it's about finished. We've come to the 1-to-1 extension. We've taken out the low with the stop hunt there. This could rally and then roll over one more time. Could rally up here and then roll over one more time. This could be a big wave 4 as well. That's another possibility. But still, this would be corrective A, B, C. More than likely. Okay. So that's the way I'm looking at that wave. Right now, it looks like an ABC. It does. Let's look in the 15-minute time frame. It would give us a little better. You can see how we're getting the divergence between wave 3 and wave 5, wave 3 and wave 5 of that move there. So I like this to be maybe a finished wave there, and now we could be getting a move up. Very similar to this bottom right here. Okay, very similar to that bottom. And we get this kind of move up. It rolls over and then goes again. And if it does a similar move, this is a very, very similar fractal of what's playing right here. Now, does it have to do that again? Not necessarily. Doesn't have to do that again, but it could do that. Okay, so if it comes up and rolls over deeper, then we're going to start looking. If it comes deeper, not just hitting the low and rebounding, then we're going to start looking at this as a 1, 2, and we're going to start looking for wave 3, 4, and 5. In which case, I would say, hey, we topped out. More than likely, we topped out here, and this is a wave A or a wave 1 to the downside. I would look for a correction for a B or a wave 2, and then we'd go down again later. So there you go. That's what I'm thinking. So we either have this, or we start working our way to the upside tomorrow. Looking on the 1 hour chart, basically this is your draw that trend line on your RSI and see if you get a move to the upside that breaks that trend. Or see if you get a move to the upside that breaks that trend, or does this continue working its way down, trending, much like this one? And it may do that. It may totally do that. In which case, if this continues down, this is looking more like a wave 1. That means we're probably not going up for a while, guys. We would recover for a 3-wave move, but we would be looking down for more downside. Okay. A leading diag. I mean, maybe, but probably not. It's not big enough. It's not a wave 4. I'm certain about that. I'm certain we're not in a wave 4 yet. Okay, it's not tall enough, and it's not big enough. Well, I say I'm certain. If we get a wave 4, JR or Junior, whatever, it's probably going to do something like this. And there's your wave 4 right there, something like that. Where that's just a WXY or an ABC, okay? We get a 3-wave move that breaks the top. We get an impulse down, and that's your wave 4. So we got, 1, 2. This could be wave 3, 4. Get a hit to the high, a bigger move down like that, and then a continuation. So if this starts to go up like this, I'm going to be very, very bullish. Very bullish. I'll look for that pull back, and I'll be looking for more upside. Uh, 15-minute. Yeah, 15 minutes not clear. I mean, it could go down, but we got hidden bullish divergence on the 15-minute. We got regular divergence at the end here. Let's see if we get a pump here. That'd be nice. Now watch it, guys. We could just get a pump like tonight, just a simple pump to take the high out, and then it could reject, and it could reject with an ABC. Remember the wave that I shared? That's very possible. I like this count a lot. So let's remember the bearish count. My favorite count is just a break of the high, and then we start working our way down. A, B, C, and this is my best Ethereum count here. WXY. I like that count quite a bit. Let's look at Bitcoin, guys. To me, Ethereum's the clearest chart. I like it. I was kind of looking for another high. I was kind of looking for one more hit to the high here. I would love to see that, to be honest with you. I would love to see a move up like this, just to hit to the high and then down. Let me clear the chart. We could be done. I mean, one argument says we're done. We got an A. We got an A wave. We got a B, and we got C, and we have divergence between, the 3 and the 5 right here. Boom, done. There's your argument. I mean, there's an argument right there that says, hey, it's finished. Okay? Now, if that's an ABC, then that's a 3-wave correcting this wave here. You can see that we probably come back to the 618 golden zone. Okay? It's sketchy to me that this is all we get. I doubt it. I doubt that's all we get. But it's possible. It's possible that's all we get. I don't know what's coming. But we have come to the 618 order block here. I mean, not order block, the 618 golden zone here. But we've done it in such a way that it's creating, I mean, there's a lot of bullish sentiment here. While on Ethereum, I do like that idea of the WXY. I also am very aware that we could pump. Okay, we could. When I look at Bitcoin, I see a chart that I think wants to pump. So, when I look at Bitcoin, I see a chart that probably wants to pump. What do you mean, Jim? Well, number one, this is too pretty. This is too pretty of an A, B, and C. It's too perfect. That more than likely, this is not the end of something, but rather this is the beginning of something. This is like a 1 and a 2, and we could be going up with a really big move. So remember when I started with Ethereum, I said if we get a really big pump here that just rocks to the upside, it just goes up, beyond your expectation, just starts taking levels out, retest this level, starts taking levels out, pretty fairly quickly over a day or two, then I would say, okay, guys, this isn't 3 waves. We're not looking to the downside. This is confirmed to the upside. It's confirmed. Okay. So what's the percentage of chance of a bull move? I don't know. It's 50-50, maybe 60-40 bullish, a little bit more bullish. But I'm not thinking that the bull move that we're getting ready to get is going to be forever. I'm looking for a move, and it might be a big move, that takes us up here. Now that's going to take us, what I just drew right there, takes us to the end of the year. This takes us into February or March, okay? So that means that, guys, this move is going to take time. It's going to take time. That means you're going to get pumps and pullbacks. You'll get larger moves, pullbacks. It will work its way up, but it's not going to go straight up, guys. So even though I draw it with a line, I'm not talking a week. I'm not talking to the moon tomorrow. I'm simply saying the trend is going to be, so you don't need to FOMO and you don't need to worry. But the market is ready to let us know which way it's going. What we need to see on the 8-hour, I would love to see a bit of a pullback here, right in this range before we get going here, okay? Because we need to get some bullish divergence rocking, especially on the 4-hour chart. I would love to see a bit of a move to the downside before we get really rocking to the upside. So anyway, but the same thing is at stake as was with Ethereum. Okay, looking on the small time frame. Okay, you'll see the 15-minute chart. How many of you see the hidden bull divergence on the 15-minute chart? That is, it has the potential of coming down deeper, yes, but this is bullish divergence that we're seeing here. I would love to see another move to the upside start soon, if not in this range. Okay, let's look at this wave shape, see if we can come up with some kind of understanding of that wave, whether it's impulsive or it's impulsing or it's correcting. Okay, this is looking very similar to what was going right here. Looking very similar. Okay. Now, one argument I want to show you, and we were looking at this the other day saying, hey, this looks an awful lot like a flat right there. And it looked finished. And we thought, hey, right here, we're probably coming down. But then look what it did. It made another A, B, C. Could this be a W, X, Y right there? Could that be? If that's the case, we had a W, oh, come on. We had a W, X, Y here. We had a W, X, Y here. Could we be getting a flat right here? A, B, and then we coming down for C? And if that's the case, if we're getting something like that, this could be prepping us for a 1, 2, 1, 2 with a big move coming once this finishes making its move to the downside. Is that possible? Yes, it's possible. I don't know if it's going to play, but that's a wave structure. That's a way of interpreting the current wave structure. However, this may simply be another way to look at this here. Let's see. Is that this was wave 4. We had 1, 2, 3, this was 4, and that was wave 5 right there. That's 5 waves right there. That's the better way to interpret that. The C doesn't have to stop anywhere at BK. It can be a running, it could be an expanded flat, a running flat. It could come and break this low. It could not break that low. There's no rule for it. It just needs to be 5 waves. You need to see a 5-wave structure. Now, this could be 5 waves here, in which case you have an impulse wave. This is, and all I'm doing is looking at these waves and trying to say, what's the character of the waves? I got an impulse wave. I got a 3, 3, 3 right there. I got a W. It's a W, X, Y with a truncated Y there. So that's an argument, okay? And then you could say I've got, I don't know, maybe it's an ending diag here. It's an ugly ending diag. I don't know if I'm forcing it. I might be forcing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be forcing it. But it's a way of interpreting that says it's finished. A, B, C. And it's simply, that's a correction of that impulse wave, and it'll be followed by another wave to the upside, and the next bullish move. Okay? That's really what's at stake here. If you look at this 90-minute chart that I'm on, you'll see the hidden bull right here. Okay? The hidden bull right here. There's hidden bullish divergence all over that chart. My guess is that this is going to take a turn to the upside, potentially, once this thing finishes what it's doing. Okay? Now, they can take out that hidden bull that's on the chart. They can take it out. If they want to take it down, they can. All right. We actually have we broken? We have on the 4-hour broken, but here's the thing. We've got 2 hours left in this candle. If in the next 2 hours, and here's a test for you, if in the next 2 hours this continues down and this closes below that line, it will indicate a shift in the momentum, a clear change in the momentum of price to the downside. It'll mark momentum, a momentum shift to the downside. It already has begun. Okay? It already has begun on the 4-hour chart. Things take time to develop, and this wave could develop into a much more impulsive wave, especially if it wants to get some velocity on the way down and make a 5-wave shape. If it starts to make a 5-wave shape like this, I'm no longer going to be looking to the upside, but actually I'm going to be looking for a 3-wave pullback and more downside to follow. Okay? And this would be a 3-wave correction that ended right here at the golden zone. An A, B, C that could be finished now. So are we going to get another hit to the high, or are we not going to get a hit to the high? Only time will tell. And we have to watch the price structure and watch the RSI to see what it's doing. Again, guys, we watch this carefully every morning and every night in the Discord. We'd love to have you a part of it. Patreon, you do not have to wait for the first of the month. If you want to join the group, just go to my Patreon link in the description. I'll get an email, and tonight I'll send you the link to the Discord, and we'll get you in. And I will personally meet with you on a one-on-one basis in the beginning and bring you into the group, answer any questions you have, and make sure you're well aware of what we're doing and get you acclimated to the group. We'd love to have you in there. It's worth a $40 investment just to monitor these waves as you begin to learn how to do it yourself. Okay? So that's what we're looking at here. So the RSI on the 4-hour is saying, hey, I might be going down here. But if we get a move back to the upside pretty quickly in the next 2 hours, it could retrace this and we could bounce off here and go back to the upside. So let's watch and see Do we get a bounce here, or does this continue to the downside? Okay? All right. It might start dumping. It might get a dump tonight. Who knows? Right? What you have to understand is I don't have any premonition as to what the market's going to do. I don't know anything. But what I do know is that the market likes to take your money. And if you think one way, if the market makes you think one way, it'll do the other first before it goes the way you want it to go. So if you're looking at the chart saying, oh, I mean, that looks like it's going to go up, there's probably a high likelihood that it might go down first in a way that you don't expect before it goes up, to make sure it shakes you out of the trade, takes liquidity out of the market, things like that. So keep that in mind. That's the way this market likes to move. Okay, so all I can do is look at the chart as it sits and say, okay, this is the price action I'm seeing. This is what the RSI is telling me. But the RSI is in no man's land right now, and I'm trying to figure out, are we going to get a larger move down here, which is the way the wave looks right now. It looks kind of bearish right now. It looks like it wants to, make a deeper move to the downside here, before going up, and that's a possibility, right? But if this does come down here, okay. It's harder to be bullish right here. This looks very much three wave-ish here. Okay, so we get a move down, and then we'd end up getting a move back to the upside, three waves, more than likely before down. You don't always get that, but more than likely, if you see right here, we get the move, we got a three-wave move back up, and then we had the continuation to the downside. So we get the first move would finish, we'd get a three-wave pump, some kind, and then continuation down. Or we get another move to the upside that's big and fast. Maybe something like this. Pumpy, pulls back and continues. So what are we going to get, guys? What are we going to get? A pumpy pump or a dumpy dump? That is the question. And what is the market going to do in light of the elections coming up? What do you guys think in the comments? What do you guys think? How do you think the elections are going to affect things? What do you think? If it reaches 25K, can we still go down? Depends on the wave structure that takes it up there, but I would be inclined to, if it reaches 25K, more than likely it's got more up to go. It's going to continue going. Looking at this wave structure here, there's an ABC for you. One thing I haven't considered that I might consider as a wave structure here is that we could be getting a diagonal of some kind, a leading diag. 1, 2, 3. We get a three-wave move back, 4, 5. Could be getting a leading diag. So we get 5-wave move, 3-wave pullback, and then a continue. Is it a decision point this week? Well, no. Because I think it's clear the hidden bearish divergence is on the chart. So it's clear we need a correction. For me, the question is it going to correct bullishly by spiking the high or even going up and taking the high out in 3 waves and then spike it? Is it going to correct like this? bullishly, or is it going to start coming down impulsively and correcting like this? So that's the question for me. Okay, is it going to correct bullishly in a wave like this? The RSI would go down in such a case, create hidden bull, and give us another move to the upside while this starts working its way back to the upside. So are we going to get a correction like that, or are we going to get a stronger move to the downside? I've got to just watch price action here over the next little bit to see what it's doing. But you got to remember the Asian market tonight. This move that we're getting right now is a setup for London, and really that's a setup for the New York move. So you just got to realize that all this is just setting up to move the market one way or the other. When I look at the current wave structure, I look at this and say, hey, there's a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with an A, B, C. Okay? So if I have an impulse here, 1, 2, this could be a 1, 2. And now we're getting a wave 3 to the downside. This might have become a wave 3 to the downside. And so that's a very bearish outlook, what I just drew for you. Very bearish. Okay. 1 minute chart is showing a potential bullish divergence, but it's not a bullish divergence that I'm expecting based on wave structure. So I don't think that's going to last. And there, the 5 minute chart is showing bullish divergence as well. And again, I just don't know that it's going to last unless this is some kind of an ending diag here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if this is an A, B, C here, and this was a 3-wave move, so this could be a W, X. And that could be a Y, and then we go up. So that's a way to interpret that in 3 waves. And it's a way that says, hey, this is oversold here on the 5 minute. We got hidden bull on the 15 minutes. It's looking bullish right now. It's looking bullish, even though the current price action is moving to the downside. It just depends on, are they going to continue taking it down or not? That's the part I don't know. Or are they going to give us some kind of a reversal look? Are they going to give us a reversal wave that breaks out of that move? So the 1 hour is the chart to watch, guys. The 1 hour is the chart to watch because it's giving you the clearest trend. It's giving you the clearest momentum trend right here. And so the moment you get a closed candle back to the upside on the 1 hour chart, closed 1 hour candle to the upside, that's going to indicate a shift in the momentum of the wave and let you know which way you should be trading. Okay, right here we got a break in the momentum to the upside right here in this candle. That should have been the indicator for you to go ahead and take that long right in there. So watch this and see if you get a break in the shift in the momentum. This may continue trending down to get back down here. This may continue trending down here. It may want to get down here to the 618. Retrace of that move. It's maybe heading down here, probably where it's going. And if that's the case, then yeah, then we'd be looking for, we'd maybe looking for something tomorrow or during London session or something tomorrow morning where we may get another move to the upside. Okay, I kind of like the idea of a bullish correction where this happens right here. 1, A, B, C, boom, and there you go, A, B, C, and then a continuation. And I'll bet you we get something like that. That's what I'm kind of betting on, based on the price that I'm seeing. This is probably what I'm looking for. So I'm looking long for the next move. Okay, potentially I'm looking. That's my idea. Could I be wrong about that? Yeah, I could be, and I'm ready to be wrong. So just because now that's my main idea that I'm trading by, it doesn't mean I'm not ready to change if the market tells me something different. If the market does something different, so. Just looking for my long entry. I'm looking for my long entry. You want to see a break of that structure to the upside and on the 1 hour. That'll be a great trade. Potentially a great trade. We'll see. Well, guys, I'm pretty exhausted. I want to call it a night there. I've done some pretty extensive, talking about the different counts that we could be seeing here in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Make sure I haven't missed any questions that you guys are asking. Yeah. Well, guys, I enjoyed to be with you. I'm going to watch the rest of the evening football game and call it a night. I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Don't forget to come on in the Discord. More the merrier, guys. I would love to have you in, and you can learn what we're doing. We can learn what you're doing, and we can put our knowledge together and keep growing together as a community. You all have a great night. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll call it a night. Thanks, Chemo, for moderating and good conversations. I hope you guys have a good night. We'll see you. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.